Welcome to DIY Design by CCW, DIY Design for the 21st Century. My name is Candy and I'm the host of this channel. Now let's get into this video. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to DIY Design by CCW. Thank you so much for tuning in and I hope you have a fantastic day. Well, today everyone, I am bringing you another one of my thrift revamps or upcycles. Now, I found 2 jars some time ago at my thrift shop for 25 cents each, and I'm going to see what I can do to glam them up today. Now, I'm using materials that I already had in my stash. You see, I've got some fabric trim, I'm using some Mod Podge, I've got some silver paint, I've got my diamond dots. You see, I've got my little gem box out there and all sorts of tools. Of course, I've got my quick hole glue. That's a brooch from Walmart. Again, I already had it in my stash. My seed beads and various types of bling wrap. Now, I am not really sure what I'm going to do to these jars. So, you know what though? We're going to jump right in and we're going to see how this turns out. Now, what I decided to do was paint the jars. I did paint both of them. And I'm using this sheer sort of paint that adds a little sheen and a little color. Of course, it's not like going and painting something like with a Krylon spray paint or something like that. It adds a gloss, it adds a sheen, and it's really pretty. I like it. It almost makes it look aged or sort of frosted like. You can do 1 coat if you want that sheer look. I'm going to do 2 coats, and then once that's done, we're going to bling out this little jar. All right, so this is how the jar looks after 2 coats of paint, and I've let the paint dry, and now we're going to jump right into the next thing. So here, like I said, I'm just kind of going along. I really didn't sort of have a plan, and sometimes I like to do that when I'm doing my DIYs. I just like to jump in and see what happens. So originally what I started to do was I was going to paint just the little indentations with Mod Podge and sprinkle on some seed beads and little diamond dots and then brush off the excess. But I liked the way it looked when I put it on like this, so I decided to put on a little bit more Mod Podge and kind of fill it in, and I kept this going all the way around. So what I'll do is I move further around or go and do the other sides rather of the jar is I'll put just a little more Mod Podge on, then I'm going to sprinkle on seed beads like you see me doing here, and then I'll come back with my little diamond dots. And again, I will have the numbers for the seed beads as well as the diamond dots and the paint, color, all of that down in my description box. So again, I'm going to do this all the way around, and then once I do that, I'll go ahead and start adding a little more bling to the jar. Okay, now it's time to add a little bit of bling. So, of course, I'm gonna, fix up the neck here a little bit. And what I decided to do was just to add a little bit of the fabric trim. Again, guys, I buy this fabric trim from Joann Fabric. I had bought a few packs on one of my last trips there because I had some coupons, and I've been using those, and you know, like I said, I've really been just working out of my stash for the last few DIYs. Now what I'm going to do is take some of that same fabric trim and go around the lid, excuse me, of the jar, and add some of that there. And then I decided I needed a little bit more. Now again, remember I hadn't really thought this out, so what I'm doing here is just kind of placing some gems on the lid to see if I like what they look like. And I'm going to go ahead, I've decided to go with them, so I'm going to go ahead and glue them on. Now, as I was gluing them on, one of them, I didn't really like the placement of it. And you'll see that I tried to take it off, but it was too late. That Gorilla Glue had a good grip on that gem. It's funny, when you don't want them to come off, they come off. When you do want them to come off, you can't get them off. So I just decided to leave it where it is. Now here you see me trying a couple of different looks. I wasn't sure exactly which way I was going to go with this. And I'm placing gems in different places until I figure out what I want to do. And I end up settling on these small gems that you see. And what I'm going to do is go all the way around the lid and basically follow the little indentations in the lid with those gems. And then I'll come back and add a little bit more around the bottom. And then this jar will be done, and we'll move on to our second jar. guys, so here we go with the second jar. Now for this jar, I'm painting it with gold or treasure gold paint. If you watched my channel, you recently saw me do a little DIY where I did some jars with a blue treasure gold paint. Now this paint goes on a little thicker, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I just love it, and it gives that beautiful metallic finish. And of course it takes more than one coat to get the look that you want, but I absolutely love it. And I love the treasure gold paints. They're made by Folk Art. Again, I'll leave that information in the description box. So what I'm going to do with this jar, again, I'll paint both the lid and the base. I'll put on a coat, then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. And then we're going to go ahead and add some bling to this vase. All right, so here we go decorating the jar. Now I've let it dry. It's still slightly tacky. If you do this, make sure you let it dry completely. But I'm trying to finish a video, so I couldn't wait. All right, guys. I'm jumping in, and what I'm gonna do is add a little bling wrap around the neck of the jar. And again, this is fabric trim that I get from Joann Fabrics. Really pretty. It's really more of an iron-on fabric trim, but I love it. I love it. I guess it would be an iron-on, you know, I think so. But anyway, now I'm going to use the same fabric trim around the bottom of the jar. And with this one, I'm not going to add any Mod Podge, anything like that. I'm just going to work with the gold and the bling. So I'll end up I actually do the lid off camera because I kind of did the same thing to this lid that I did to the other one. I basically put some gems on the lid and a little bit of bling wrap around it. So I didn't think I needed to film that because you've already seen me do that. And I'm also going to use the brooch on this jar and glue it right to the center. Now what you see me doing here is the piece that I had left. Remember, I'm using my leftover supplies, was a little too short for the jar, so I'm working here to make sure that I've got enough to go all the way around the bottom, and I'm trimming it up to make sure that it fits. Then I'm going to glue on the brooch, and then this DIY will be done. And hold on, because it'll be time in a minute for the big reveal. All right, and this is how my little 25-cent jars turned out. There's a close-up of the silver jar, and there's a close-up of the gold and silver jar. Now let's take a closer look at everything. So the jars are really different, and I really went different on the look with each of the jars. I have to say though, if I had to pick a favorite, I think I like the gold jar the best, but you guys let me know what you think. The I really like that gold and silver together. I do that a lot in my house. I combine the two, so that's probably why that's my favorite. But I'm showing that in both of the jars actually on bases that I created from some thrifted candle holders that I bought some time ago. And now you see what I did to the top of this lid, and I didn't film that, but it's almost like the other lid, except they're just shaped a little different. But again, I just used the bling wrap or the fabric trim as well as the gems. I think I like the lid on this one, on the silver one, better than the gold one, but I like the gold jar better. I don't know. I'll use both of them, but you guys let me know what you think. And of course, I love to show you my DIYs with other DIYs that I've created. I've got some Dollar Tree cylinders that I did with some glitter. In the back, there are some Dollar Tree cylinders that I did with seed beads, as well as a regular cylinder vase that I used fabric trim as well as some bling wrap, and I believe some 4mm closed chain wrap, and maybe some rhinestones too. Now, the butterflies are not mine. I bought those at Walmart during the holidays. They're actually Christmas ornaments, but they're so pretty. I like to use them in my displays, and maybe one day I'll make some of my own, but right now I'm using the Walmart butterflies. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. A little bit different DIY than what I would usually do. Really trying to stretch myself and try some different things. Let me know what you think. And also, if you're not a member of the channel, I really hope you'll subscribe today. If you like Glam Decor and Glam DIYs, this is the channel for you. I also offer memberships where you can get some live DIYs and things like that, and some other perks. That information will be down in the description box as well. But again, I thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And like I say at the end of every video, I can't wait to see you, each and every one of you, in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everyone, or have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.